All right, so what I'm going to show you here, this is water. This water is nice, clean water that you use to bathe with, cook with, maybe drink, whatever. You know, if you choose to drink tap water, this is straight out of your tap. It's nice and clean. It's clean because I want you to see that it's clean right now. By the end of the demo, it's going to be dirty. It's not because you're dirty. It's just what the Rainbow does, right? It's an air purification system first and foremost. So all I'm going to do is just going to set it on here. We're going to let it do its thing, right? So just real quick so everybody knows, this is a whole home cleaning system, right? The Rainbow's not just the next few things I tell you, but it is that plus more, okay? Normally it would sit on a 5-point anti-tip roller base wherever you put it in the home, and it's going to start purifying air, okay? Have you ever felt the need for an air purifier in your home?
Mm-hmm.
You have? Okay, great. Why?
Just, I mean, sinus issues in the house. There's dust all the time.
Dust, right? It's dusty. Most homes are dusty, right? So think of it like this. Sitting here tonight, you don't see anything floating around. Lighting's different, right? But you can sit in the same spot where you are right now, and a beam of sunlight comes through the window, and what do you see?
Dust.
Dust, right? We call it dust, whatever you want to call it. On the inside, though, we call it dust. What do we call it on the outside when you see those things floating around?
Dirt.
Dirt. What makes it different?
It's in the house.
It's in the house, so it becomes dust, right? Still dirt, still all the impurities outside. It's a lot of different things, right? So here's the point. Sitting here tonight, you don't see it, but you know it exists because the sunlight doesn't bring the dust with it. It's already here. What I have here is my artificial sunlight. All I'm going to do is turn it on, and I'm going to show you a little bit about what's in the air because we don't have sunlight in here tonight. So I just turn it on, and you see the nice little particles floating around, right? So you see that. Do you have any idea what's in that dust that we call dust anyway? Any idea what's floating around in that stuff? None? None whatsoever? Okay. What about dirt, right? Dirt's made of a lot of things, right? But what about pet dander? You have pets? Have a cat, dog? No? Okay. No. Then why would you see pet dander in dust in your home?
From outside.
And it's from outside, right? So stuff actually gets you have wild animals, squirrels, raccoons, all that, and you don't know if this was a brand new house, that's fine. You don't, but if you moved in after somebody, they could have had pets. So there's pet dander in there. There's actually mold spores, right? Did you know mold spores are floating around your air all the time? Right? Do you know you constantly breathe mold spores in? Right? So it's a thing that's floating in your air. Now, mold spores are an issue in a lot of ways, but you don't think about it because your body naturally fights a lot of that off. But how does black mold develop in an area?
Moisture, warmth.
But how does the mold get there? It's already in the air.
Yeah.
When it makes contact with moisture, it starts to develop into black mold. So would you knowingly breathe in this stuff that's going to create black mold in your body? We do it every day, right? Now your body fights a lot of that off through immunities and different things like that we have. The immune system's great. It fights a lot. You may just get stomach bug, bacteria, whatever. All that stuff's in there. But did you know there's also blood spores in the air? Billy, you have a friend that comes over and he's not feeling well and he hacks and coughs in your home. What is he doing? Emitting bacteria. He's emitting coughing from the lungs, which also carry blood, which is now in the air. So guess what? Your friend that's got the hacking cough or the flu comes and leaves it in your house, right? So we've got bacteria, blood spores, all this stuff floating around. And as you walk through the air, guess where it's going? Right into your body, right into your passageways, your lungs. You're breathing it in constantly. You need 3 things to live. What are those 3 things?
Air, water.
Air, water, and food.
Oh, food.
Right?
There you go.
Hopefully you need food. I mean, you may not, but I do. I like to eat. So here's the thing. Out of those 3, which one can you not go a couple minutes without doing?
Breathing.
Breathing. So you constantly need air, so you're constantly breathing. You could stop eating for a day or 2. You can stop drinking water for a day or 2, but you cannot stop breathing for a day or 2. So you're constantly breathing. So to your point, you do see the need for an air purifier. Why don't you have one? Okay, you don't know why. Probably, I'll tell you what most people think is they go to look at them and they're walking through Walmart or Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever home store, and you see them and they're lining the shelves. You have about 18 million different choices to make, ranging from $50 all the way up to a couple grand, right? And you have no idea which one to buy, right? The rainbow is not in stores because we do exactly what we do right here. Natalie brought us to your home to show you a product that's going to help your quality of living, which will improve, but also help you as you breathe. The difference with the rainbow than all these other ones you see on the shelf is we use water as a filter. The water is straight out of your tap. You will never need another filter. The rainbow uses water to filter all this out. So the difference with water as opposed to a paper or porous or charcoal or whatever type of filter is the fact that it traps everything. Do you believe me?
I mean, water, everything stays in water.
Everything stays in water, and here's how it does it. You ever ride down a dirt road on a dry sunny day?
Yeah.
Look in the rearview mirror? What do you see flying around?
Dust.
Dust. Ride down that same road after a fresh rain, what do you see?
Nothing.
You don't see nothing, right? The water washes that dust and subsides it, right? So the same thing with the water. Now, if you want to get rid of dust in your home, you can take a water hose and start squirting everything down, right? The dust sticks to the water, right? So instead of doing that in your home, because we're going to ruin everything, we just take the dust to the water. Let me show you something. So as you're stirring dust up, right now this is all going in your lungs and passageways, but look what happens. Where do you see it going now?
In the rainbow?
So you see it going in the rainbow. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, it's pulling this stuff in. So if the rainbow's pulling in what you're breathing, are you breathing as much of the impurities and the pollen and all the stuff that's in your air if the rainbow's trapping that? So what the rainbow's doing for you is it's cleaning your air so you get to breathe clean air as opposed to breathing nasty, filthy, dirty air, right? 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you have an air purification system. Here's another thing it is, that you have in these this stuff in the air, right? So did you know dead skin resides in that? The larger particles that you see, when you stir this stuff up, the larger particles that you see are dead skin, most of that is. And obviously there's a lot of it. The average human sheds 1.5 million skin cells an hour. That's about 45 pounds of skin a year per person that we shed. A lot of skin. Sorry, y'all can't go on skin cell diets because the food you eat weighs more than the skin. But here's the thing, you're shedding all that and it's just landing everywhere. Now, have you ever sloughed off skin and noticed how your skin gets dry kind of, and it gets sticky still, right? So skin cells stick to things. Ceiling fans running all day long, right? They get, and you ever turn them off, they get these nice little fur coats around the blades, right? You ever notice that?
Yeah.
Have you ever cleaned one of those blades off?
Yeah.
Does the dust float around like this when you clean it off?
No.
What happens to it?
Clumps and
Falls, right? Do you know why it does that?
like got moisture to it.
It's mostly dead skin. As the ceiling fans turn, the skin cells float around the air and attracts it to the ceiling fans, and as they turn, they collect that dust. Now it's thick and bald and falls to the floor. And it is moist, like your point, because skin cells are oily and sticky, so they have a little bit of moisture to them, so they stick to everything. So if skin cells will stick to a ceiling fan blade, where else are they sticking as we're moving through our home? Any idea?
Everywhere.
What about when you breathe it in?
Our lungs?
Sticks to your lungs and passageways, right? It's going right in here, staying, right? So over time, you develop breathing issues just because your lungs, your esophageal passages, all this stuff gets clogged because of what you're breathing in constantly. The rainbow can reverse some of those effects just having it in. Now, obviously, we eat dead skin, right? I just proved that to you. Do you know what else eats dead skin?
Dust mites.
Bingo, he's smart. 1-0, Joe.
He is the pilot.
No big deal.
Dust mites. A dust mite is a microscopic spider. Who likes spiders crawling around all over the place?
Not me.
No, you don't, right? So here's the thing. You have a bunch of microscopic spiders. They are microscopic. You can't see them with the naked eye, right? 7,000 will fit under your thumbnail, 11,000 on your eyelid. That's how small they are. They eat the dead skin that we shed, 45 pounds a year per person. A lot of microscopic bugs eat that stuff, so you got plenty to shed, right? So, with that being said, they're living organisms. They do everything we do. They eat, they sleep, they breathe, and they poop. One dust mite poops 20 to 25 pellets a day. That's a lot of crap in your home, right? 1 square yard of space, about 100,000 dust mites will live. So yeah, I'm grossing you out right now. It's a lot of gross factors, but at the end of the day, you can get rid of those, right? They are living organisms, so they also carry bacteria. Did you know they can carry any type of sickness? Cold, flu virus, stomach bug, all that stuff, right? They can carry that because they're living organisms too, right? So you get rid of that. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, the rainbow is purifying your air, bringing this stuff in for you so you don't have to breathe it in. It's breathing for you, so it's taking care of it so you breathe clean, fresh air. Now, Natalie, you've had yours for a couple of weeks running just like this all the time. What does the air feel like in your home now?
Well, it's a little more crisp and clean.
So,
Fresh.
you notice a difference in your home, right? So here's the thing. I've been selling rainbows a long time. Been doing this for a long time, leaving rainbows in houses all over the place. Every time I go into a house that doesn't have a rainbow, I notice a difference immediately. You will notice a difference when you have your rainbow. When you go into somebody else's house and we're going to show your friends, you will notice a huge difference when you walk in their house after having your rainbow for a little bit of time. The air is crisp, clean, cooler. It feels different. It feels better in the home. So you have an air purifier doing this for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's trapping the triggers. It causes asthma, allergies, cold and flu virus, stomach bugs, all that stuff. And here's why. Because we're certified by the Asthma and Allergy Foundation. We trap 99.97% of all indoor air pollutants into the rainbow. So if you move it room to room, it's going to clean that space in a single day. It's going to take care of it and purify the air while it's doing it. So you said you have allergies, right? Who has the worst? You said you did, Joe, right? You take medication for it currently?
Over-the-counter stuff.
Over-the-counter stuff. In a month, how much would you say you would spend on allergy medication?
$50.
$50 a month? Holy
Yeah.
crap! Yeah, that's a little high, really. If you think about it, so you got pretty bad allergies. So the average population, average American, will spend about $150 a year on just over-the-counter allergy medication. That's broken down. It's about $15 a month, something like that, right? So let's just, again, we talked earlier about deodorizers. Billy, do me a favor. Flip that name sheet over for me. I want you to write down what you spend on deodorizers. We talked about in 30 years, you spend how much?
3,600.
Yeah, 3,600. That was your number at $10 a month. You said y'all are a little over that, but we're going to use a low number. Now, let's just say because of the allergy medication y'all spend, Joe, you said $50 a month. Again, I'm going to just go down to 10 because that's you're a rare case that spends that much. So we're going to just be on the safe side. And I'm going to say another $10 a month. So in 30 years, okay,
3,600 again.
3,600 again. So you spent 3,600 on stuff to make your house smell good. 3,600 on allergy medications. Joe, do you still have allergies?
Yes.
But you take all the medication that should prevent them, right?
Should.
Should. It doesn't, actually. So when you take a pill or you take medication, are you treating a symptom or a cause?
Symptom.
Symptom, right? Why not treat the cause? What if I had a pill that I could sell you right now that says, you know what, I'm going to treat what causes your allergies so you're not dealing with them. And guess what? You only have to buy it one time. You only have to have it in your home one time, and you're taken care of in your home. Would that be worth it, or would you continue to buy the pills every month?
I get the one that takes care of it.
You're the one to take care of it. Well, guess what? The rainbow does that. So we don't treat the symptom, we treat the cause. So basically, when you look at it, you would rather take care of what's causing your allergies than treat the after effects.
Right.
The rainbow does that. So here's the thing. In your home, you will notice that your allergies subside. You don't deal with it nearly as much because everything that is outside that you're allergic to that may be inside as well, guess what? When you shut your doors and windows, it's here. It's trapped. It's just getting circulated through the home. When you want a fresh breath of air, where do you go?
Outside.
Outside. Why?
Because it's what we always do.
That's what you're known to do, right? But your allergens are outside, so when you come in the front door and you shut the door and you shut the windows at night and we go to bed or we continue our day, the stuff that you have outside is also in, and stuff that's inside stays in. So all the skin cells and dust mites, all the stuff that we deal with are in all day long. Here's a true fact. You ever been sitting here on this nice summer morning watching TV, meteorologist comes on and they talk about air quality index. Code orange, code red, don't go outside, blah, 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 right? Do you know why they do that?
Because of whatever's outside in the air.
No, whatever's outside the air, but you go outside to take a deep breath of air, fresh air, right? So they're telling you the air's bad outside. Have you ever seen a similar reading inside your home for air quality index?
No.
No. Here's the thing. CDC and EPA will do air quality index studies on homes inside. But here's a true fact. There's a study that's posted online right now. You can pull it up. In the year 2006 to 2010, they did a 4-year air case study. 200,000 homes across the United States of America was tested. Do you know what they found in that simple 4-year case study on air quality index inside homes? It's 10 times worse living indoors than if you were to pitch a tent on the front yard and live the rest of your life. True fact. But the air quality outside is just as bad. So you got a lesser of two evils, right? So if you have something in your home that will purify that air and clean that air, you would obviously pick that choice, right? Guess what? You have it right here. Do you know what the rainbow costs? Any idea? No?
No.
In the year 2000, they retail for about $2,200, right? That was 16 years ago. So I'm not going to tell you exactly what it costs. I'm going to let you decide that at the end of the demo. I'm going to ask you the question. But now, how much is your rainbow costing you?
Nothing.
Nothing. Why?
because of the program.
So, free for doing a little bit of work, or you can pay for one. That's the options you have, right? We obviously want you to go the free route, but I'm going to show you a little difference in the Rainbow. So you have an air purifier all day long, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's purifying the air, trapping the triggers that causes asthma and allergy. Are we treating a symptom or are we treating a cause right now? Cause, right? So you would agree. We do it through water-washed air. That's how we do it. All the dirt particles come into the water, they stay, give you clean air out the back so you to breathe that clean air in. So you got an air purifier, first and foremost. If it didn't do anything but purify the air, you're spending $3,600 in 30 years and you own nothing. Guess what you own with a Rainbow after 30 years?
A Rainbow.
You still own a Rainbow, right? You can't go pull up a box from 30 years ago where you took allergy medication. The Rainbow's here in your home running for you. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you got an air purifier. Now, obviously, when we clean, we dust, right? So who does the dusting in the home?
Me.
I thought he cleaned. Y'all are lying. No.
I
So
dust. He cleans.
So, yeah. So here's the thing: dusting is something we love to do, right?
Yeah.
No, you hate dusting, right? How often do you dust, Billy? Obviously, honestly, don't lie to me. Tell me
Never.
the truth. Never.
Whenever I'm home from flying my airplanes.
So here's the thing: most people don't dust, and I love asking that question because I get the blank stare every time I say, "How often do you dust?" The thing is we don't dust because it's problematic. It's difficult because, honestly, if I gave you a bottle of Pledge and I gave you a rag and you went and dusted the shelf off, are you getting rid of the dust in your home?
No.
What are you getting rid of?
The dust on the shelf.
No, you're getting rid of your time. Honestly, you're wasting time. Here's the point. I can give you a lot better reasons to waste time than going and dust shelves, right? Now, you're going to clean. You're going to do those things, and you're going to dust because there's an appearance of cleanliness. But after just a few hours, the dust that you dusted off that shelf, guess what? Comes back. It's there. You're not getting rid of what's causing the problem, right? Remember, Rainbow treats causes, not symptoms. So, Billy, Joe, do y'all like to waste time?
No.
No? Okay, if you could just take it easy and chill, you would rather spend time doing other things than cleaning and doing that kind of stuff, right? So when you dust a shelf, you're wasting time. So let's just say you dust, how often, Billy, do you dust?
Every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks. And how long does it take you to dust?
Like 30 minutes.
30 minutes. So every 2 weeks, you're spending 30 minutes, so an hour a month, right? In a year, you spent 12 hours of your life. 12 hours is half a day. So in 2 years, you spent an entire day of your life dusting, doing nothing but dusting. So do me a favor. I'm going to give you a rag and a bottle of Pledge, and I want you to start dusting right now at 7 p.m., okay? And I want you to dust until 7 p.m. tomorrow and see how much time that is, and tell me at the end if all the dust is gone out of your house. Is it?
No.
You know it's not going to happen. So here's what the Rainbow does. It actually reduces the time you have to spend dusting because, again, all this stuff that you see going is actually going into the Rainbow. So the water ends up being dusty and dirty and nasty. It looks like skim milk after about 3 days, and it's because it's pulling all this stuff in, right? So it saves you time on dust. So what if I told you instead of spending a year of your life a day of your life in 2 years, that you only have to spend 6 hours, 7, 8 hours, something like that, saving you time. So there's two things in life we give, okay? It's time and money. Money can be classified, and if you give that couch that you're sitting on to a friend donation, you're giving away money. Now, if Joe said, hey, I got a buddy that is trying to move, let's go help him move, you're donating time, right? Out of the two things, time or money, which one can you replace?
Money.
Money, right? So you agree you can't replace time. So why spend it doing frivolous things that are not getting your reward or your benefit out of it? So let's not waste time. Let's let the Rainbow be your little maid while you're gone, while you're doing things. Just let it run all the time. All right? Spend time doing other things that helps you and other people. Here's the cool thing about the Rainbow. It runs on low, great like this, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Do me a favor. Put your hand right here and feel that, Billy. Joe, you can't because you're filming, but feel that? A little different. Hold your hand right there for me. Hold on to it. Feel different, right? Pretty cool, right? So now we're running on high. The Rainbow will run on high. Do it for about 8 hours or so. You'll notice that it starts moving air around your home. Now, obviously, you're not going to do this while you're trying to watch TV, but go away to work. Go fly your planes. You go do construction. Let it run while you're gone.
Go fly.
Come home, put it on low, and let it do its thing. But look what's happening It's moving now at about 150 miles an hour, so all that dust is getting cleaned fast. So let's say you clean on a Saturday, move it room to room, let it run on high for 10 minutes, shut the door, let it do this. It's going to dust the room for you. It's going to clean the air. You're going to feel a major difference. But just in the short amount of time I've had it running, let me show you what the water looks like. See that?
Whoa.
Crazy, right? All the dust in there. So that's why I told you after about 3 days the water starts to look like skim milk. Natalie, what do you do with that water when it gets dirty and nasty?
Dump it.
Dump it, right? It's just dirt. Where do you dump it?
In the yard.
So you got a place, you got a neighbor you may not like, just dump it in their yard, whatever you want to do. Just find you a place to empty your water because it is just dirt. The nice thing is you don't have to go buy another filter. Guess what you do with the Rainbow? Put water in it.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you have water, you have a filtration system in the Rainbow. So that's a nice thing about it. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you're purifying air and you're dusting. So get rid of your dusting products, right? You don't have to buy dusting anymore. You have to deal with that. You just get you a little rag or something to dust off every now and then and let the Rainbow do it. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you have an air purifier and you have a duster. I'm going to put a little bit of this green stuff in there. Let me know when the smell hits you.
Okay.
Smell it?
Smell it.
Remind you of any place you've ever been?
Doctor's office.
Pretty good guess. That's perfect. Doctor's office, dentist, hospitals. This is called triethylene glycol. We call it the green stuff. It's a non-contact germ killer, sanitizer, whatever you want to say, right? This actually kills germs on contact. They're required to run this through the ventilation system because they are a health facility, right? You ever look at the hospital, take a step back, you see those big boxes on top of the roofs of the hospitals, these big square boxes. Do you have any idea what those are?
Air handlers.
AC.
Air handlers, things like that. They're AC, air, people think whatever. They actually have this stuff running. Those filter the air through the hospital systems with this same sanitizer in there cleaning the air. So the reason why we do that is if you ever go to the doctor, if you ever just been for a checkup, right? You're not sick. You're just going for your routine checkup or get medication or whatever it is. You walk in the front door. Most doctor's offices will have two areas. There's a sick area and a well area. You're not sick. Where are you going to sit?
Well area.
Well area, right? So when you sit down in that chair because you're not sick, there's this wall that comes up and separates you from the sick people, right? No, that's not happening. We're being facetious. Point is, germs are everywhere. So why don't you get sick there? Germs pass. They just float around this building. It's because they're running this through the ventilation system. So immediately when somebody coughs, gags, spits, sneezes, or chokes, the germs die on contact. So you don't have to worry about being sick. You walk up to the front counter, sign in on a clipboard. Everybody in the place is touched, blah, blah, blah. There's hand sanitizer everywhere. You get the picture. It's a germ-aware society, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're all aware of germs. People are aware of germs. Some people actually go with a little mask on their face during cold and flu season. You're seeing it now more common, right? You would never go into a grocery store and crawl around on the floor because you know it's dirty. So we obviously carry a lot of stuff on our feet, move from person to person. Now here's a little difference with guys than girls probably have to experience. I don't know if Nally has to experience this or not, but you ever go to the gas station and you pump gas, right?
Mm-hmm.
You use your credit card,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you punch your card in, you start punching the numbers on the keypad, right? When's the last time you seen somebody clean that keypad?
Never.
You got Joe that was there, 2 minutes before you, had a big dip in his mouth, flipped down, licked his fingers, had his finger in his nose, and then starts punching. You get the picture, right? It's nasty. But we don't think about that. We just go do it. So then you got to use the restroom, so you walk into the local bathroom, whatever it is, right? And you go up to a urinal that's plastered on the wall. Underneath that urinal is a puddle of something. Do you have any idea what that is?
Not water.
Not water. Bingo. So your feet slide across the bathroom floor, right? Then you come in and walk right in your front door with that same stuff that's on your body, that's on your feet, that you've contacted everywhere, and bring it right into your home. And then we wonder why we're sick, right? You ever notice when you turn your heat on from the change of summer to winter and you smell that burning smell?
Mm-hmm.
Why does heat smell burning? Why does it burn? Shouldn't smell that in a home, right?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, what that is baked on bacteria and stuff that's been sitting over and over, and now it's being blown through your ventilation systems. True fact, during that same air case study, people don't get sick from changes of season. They get sick because of what's in their home when they start changing the AC or the heat and start blowing it through the system. Colds happen because of 90% of the sickness you incur in life is airborne. So a lot of it's in your home right here, just on your ventilation system as you go through the day. So keep that in mind. When you smell that little burning smell, it's not just because the heat's warming up. That's what we call it. It's actually heating up the bacteria that's sitting there, and now it's blowing it off all through your ventilation system. Rainbow helps with that, right? So you'll actually trap that stuff. So here's the thing. Billy, have you ever been sick where you had to lay down on the couch, you couldn't go to work that day, you had to call in, right?
Yep.
When you call in, I'm assuming you have sick days, so you can take sick days. But there is a cost, right? You have to burn that sick time. Joe, in construction, you may not have sick days, so when you take off, it's lost work, right?
Yep.
How much would you say a day off of work cost you?
$500.
$500. That's a lot. Wow, that's a whole lot. So you're losing $500 when you're sick, right? So you lay down on the couch, right? You have to go to the doctor because you get a stomach bug bad enough. You just can't hold food down, whatever it is. So you get up off the couch and you go to the doctor. Where's your closest doctor?
45 minutes.
45 minutes. Oh, wow. So you're out $500 already. You don't feel well. Now you go to the doctor, right? So you drive 45 minutes. Okay? Do you feel good yet?
No.
Still feel bad. You walk in the front door, all the stuff I just told you, you're sick, so you're going to sit at the well there. I'm at sick side, right?
Yeah.
You know. Point is, you walk in the front, you sign in. They want two things from you. They want your insurance card and a copayment. That's all they're interested in. Hopefully you have insurance. If you don't, there's a whole different cost. But let's just say you do, all right? Billy, y'all have insurance?
Yes.
You're good? So what's your copay?
$50.
$50, okay? $50. The average copay is about $25. We'll say $50 though, because that's what y'all experience. $500 plus $50. You spent $550 now. Do you feel better?
No.
No. Okay. So you sit down. 45 minutes later, after spending $550, how long do you wait?
Probably an hour.
About an hour. So an hour and 45 minutes later, you finally get to go back, see the doctor, right? You sit down. How long do you wait in the doctor's office? The little room.
Probably another 15, 20 minutes.
2 hours of your life, Joe. $550 later. Do you feel better yet?
No.
Doctor comes in and sees you. How long do they see you?
5 minutes.
5 minutes. For 2 hours of your time, he gives you 5 minutes or she gives you 5 minutes of hers. Do they make you well while you're at the doctor?
No.
What do they give you?
Prescription.
Prescription, a piece of paper that's going to cost you an additional amount. How much are your copays or your prescription cost?
$10.
$10. Okay, so $560 later, 2 hours, 10 minutes later, you're not better. You take this prescription down to your local pharmacy, which is another 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. You finally get home 3.5 hours later with a medication, right? That says, here, take this, you're going to feel better. But do you feel better yet?
No.
You've spent $600, 3.5 hours of your time for what?
Nothing.
Nothing. To hopefully feel better. You take the medication, lay down throughout the night, put you to sleep, you finally wake up in the morning, feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
All right, long story. You got to take the medication and finish it all out, blah, blah, blah. $600 later, several hours later, right? What if, let's just reverse all that, you didn't have to waste that money. You didn't have to deal with the medication, because when you take that pill, Joe, what are you treating? Cause or symptom?
Symptom.
Symptom. So you're paying all this money, spending all this time for nothing. The rainbow treats the cause. So let's just say, even still, all that happened, you were sick, you took all that medication. About the time you're well, what happens to Billy?
He gets sick.
He gets sick, so now here we go through the cycle again. You follow what I'm saying? What the rainbow does, when you feel that, you feel a little bit of icky, whatever it might be, stomach bug, whatever, you're just not feeling well, put a capful in, let it run. You're going to notice that you don't pass sickness from person to person, nor are you dealing with it. During flu season, run this in your rainbow all the time. Because if you come home and you're feeling bad, as germs are emitted, nobody else gets sick. Now, it's not going to heal you. You can't take the bottle and drink it. But the nice thing is it's going to cut back on the time that you're sick. You're not going to get anybody else sick, so now you're not wasting money or time. Both things we said were very valuable. The point is you're not spending that. You're not wasting that time. Okay? So most people make about 6 trips a year to the doctor for these kind of things. With Rainbow, you're going to do much less, but the average spend is about $100 a trip. So $600 a year you're spending on the doctor, right? We cut that by it. So that's the whole point of Rainbow. Air purifier, duster, sanitizer. If that's all it did, it's worth its weight in gold, and you've already paid for a Rainbow in the end, right? So do me a favor, Billy, flip that sheet over. You guys, how many times you go to the doctor last year together, would you say? Just a rough estimate?
Twice.
Twice? Okay, so let's just say you spent an average of 100. You spent way more than that when you think of money lost. But $200 in a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Multiply that times 10.
2,000.
2,000, right? Multiply it times 3.
$6,000.
$6,000. So $3,600 in deodorizers, $3,600 in allergy medication. Now another how much in doctor's visits?
6,000.
6,000. Okay. All right. So the next thing it is, you may not like your home smelling like a hospital. So let's just put a little bit of this in there. Smell that? Now you're still killing germs, you're still killing all that stuff, but now the house smells different. It smells nice, right? You ever cook something that leaves an odor? Bacon, fish, burnt popcorn, things like that, right? How do you get that odor out right now?
Just
Don't.
Let it go.
Yeah, just let it go.
So typically odor's gonna last you several days, right? With the Rainbow, turn on high for 10 minutes, sucks it right in. Put it wherever the odor generated from. Now you're gonna notice if you put scent in it, it smells like whatever's in it. If you don't, the odor's still gone. Get rid of it. The last thing you want to do is wake up the next morning to last night's dinner. The Rainbow gets rid of that for you. We've already talked about deodorizers, what you use around the house, but this replaces that. Use whatever scent you like. 1 or 2 little squirts, last about 6 to 8 hours. Now you have a whole home solution, right? And it's taking care of that for you consistently. You own it, right? So here's the thing. Air purifier, duster, sanitizer, deodorizer. It's also a whole home humidifier. The nice thing about the Rainbow is when you actually have it running through your home, you're going to notice that it humidifies just like a smaller, but this is a whole base home system. So you look at it like that, you're going to humidify. Keep it close to the return vent in your home. That's where you want the Rainbow running because of why?
Air's already going that way.
Air's already going that way. So as you're pulling air through, let the Rainbow clean it before it cycles it through your home. That's what you want to do. But also typically where you have your air vent, your return vent, your thermostat's there. So it's regulating temperature as you go. Now you're also humidifying at the same time. So what it's going to do is it's going to keep the air cooler and crisper in that area. So you're going to notice you're not running your heat or AC near as much because this is controlling the humidity in the air. So that's the nice thing about it. Here's what I love to do in the winter. I meant in the summer, put a couple cups of ice in the basin. Now it's cooling, so it's blowing cool air throughout the home. So in the main space, keep it like in the living room with you or something like that, or at night take it to the bedroom. You got a mini AC unit running for you for just pennies or cents on a day. It's the same equivalent of about a 60-watt light bulb running all the time. So the nice thing is you have that savings, but you're also getting the cooling effect. Air purifier, duster, sanitizer, deodorizer, humidifier. Last thing I do every night before we go to bed, put a couple drops of eucalyptus in it. Dealing with that head cold or that snorer in the home, right? Let it run on high for about 10 minutes while you're getting ready for bed. Then turn it on low and notice, especially with ice in it, now it's vaporizing. It opens up your passageways, right? Keeps you feeling better, helps you sleep better, you snore less. You're getting all the effects, and the Rainbow's doing 6 different things, sitting on a roller basin. Didn't do anything else in your home but these 6 things. It's an air purifier, a duster, sanitizer, deodorizer, humidifier, and a vaporizer alone. If that's all it did, you've already bought several if you continue your current spending habits. So let's look real quick. Billy, do me a favor. Flip that list over. Total up the 3,600, the 3,600, and the 6,000, and tell me what you've spent so far.
$13,200.
$13,200. Okay. If the Rainbow, if I told you today the Rainbow was $3,000, write that next to it. Now do me a favor, circle which one of those amounts you would rather spend, 13,000 or 3,000. So you're saying you would rather have a Rainbow than spend that money.
Yes.
Okay? Now that's not all. We're going to show you how it cleans.